knowing that he's voiced how discontent he is with it, then I'm clearly gonna look like I'm okay with it. Now, I'd rather you not know how I feel about it and then see what you do without being prompted to do anything.
Right.
Because people are only outraged in certain cases. Like when certain stuff happen and people are outraged, I'm always wondering where that outrage were in other cases. Like with this fight, all right, you're outraged that the man jumped the cage. Where were you? Where was that outrage when McGregor was talking about the man's religion? Where was that outrage when he was calling the man a Muslim rat? Like, oh, you weren't outraged about that. You know why you weren't outraged about that? Because you were okay with it. But you weren't okay with him jumping the cage.
That's real.
I mean, this is real shit, right? So like, and that goes across the board. All right, so you upset about or outraged about somebody, having a hearing against a man being placed in one of the highest courts in office because he committed sexual assault. You're outraged that somebody would actually come forward and call him out about that, but you're not outraged about the fact that he actually did it and it happened.
Yes.
Hold on, but you were outraged when Bill Cosby did it. However, it's equally wrong on both sides. One goes to jail. The other gets appointed to one of the highest court in the United States of America. Take that back. We have somebody accused of sexual assault in the highest office in America. And you're not outraged about that. But you're outraged when the media may portray him a certain way. Or you're outraged when you're not afforded the privilege that you think is due to you. What's more privilege than violating a woman and still being able to, one, hold a public office, and two, be paid an outrageous amount of money? What's more privilege than being able to insult everything about a man and his culture and still getting your check at the end of your fight while his check is being held for upholding the beliefs that he holds sacred and dear to his heart? If there's nothing wrong with that to you, then there's simply something wrong with you.
Talk about it.
But people don't see it that way because you're vindicated in whatever you do as long as you're not a minority. Don't stick up for your beliefs because you know what? You're wrong for that. Don't be LeBron James and praise black women because, maybe you just like black women and you're proud of them. Nope, you got to acknowledge all women because you're a public figure. And although how you may be feeling at the moment is that, you're very proud of black women, I dare you actually say some shit like that, sir. Pump your motherfucking brakes, LeBron. There are a lot of other women in the world besides just black women. And you can't say that shit. So now we're gonna villainize you, although you haven't done anything besides maybe build a fucking school, give to a couple of charities, run a couple of basketball camps.
But that ain't shit.
Here you are praising a single ethnicity of women. I dare you, sir. You know what? We're gonna have to kill LeBron, sprinkle some crack on him, and say it's justified.
We'll get his black ass.
But I mean, my point here is, we've been a little humorous about it, but serious. Like, it's just, it's crazy that it's even like that. And what's even crazier too, though, because I'm not gonna leave nobody out. Like actually, when Caucasians stick up for minorities, when they come out and say, you know what, something needs to be done about this because it's wrong. I've never seen people get slayed quicker. Like, they're like, what? You're actually going against us? You're not siding with us? I dare you. You're running a serious risk. They may ruin your career, if not kill you.
That's a fact.
Because that represents the fact that not only is it a problem, but, we also know it's a problem, and we don't give a fuck. And as long as we maintain that narrative, it's all good. But
this fucking country, America hung black people and lynched them off of words and whistling.
Yep. That's all it took.
Whistling at a white woman get you dragged by a truck.
That's all it took.
Yes. So I don't buy it when people fall back on that just as just words. Like, yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, you have to obviously have some discernment, and you can't just get mad at everything someone's going to say to you, because people are going to say things to try to get under your skin. But with that being said, there's also an unspoken agreement that there's going to be a line, and to a point where you can keep talking like this, and you don't know how that person's going to take it. Some people will just walk away and be like, "Man, I don't care. You can't hurt me at all. I don't know you." But there are some people that'll be like, "All right, I don't know you. You don't know me, but you crossed the line, and now we need to go ahead and solve this physically."
Yeah.
Fucking sport predicated on violence. Yeah. You like, are people really shocked that a fighter is going to use his hands and feet to solve a conversation?
Took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Took the words right out of my mouth, man. Like this is a violent act that is already going on. How do you think he's going to resolve it? I don't know, man. It is crazy. I think
this ain't fucking rap.
I think people try to like push and find that line. Like people always try to test and see what a line is. And I'm always, and I joke around about this a lot. Like I like to make the line random, right? So like I like to, and I do this randomly. Like somebody might make a joke that is racial and funny as fuck, and I might find it funny as fuck, but I might not laugh at all, simply because I want people to be standing there wondering, oh shit, did I just go too far? or is the joke funny, right? And sometimes people may do something that's blatantly racist and I not react at all, and people be like, hold up, he was about to go ham about a joke and he ain't gonna react to this. Because I don't want people to be able to gauge how I'm gonna react. I want people to just fully understand that regardless, there's a certain level that's just not right, Mm-hmm. And by me telling you exactly what a line is, I'm telling you that everything below it is okay. So like if you come up and address me as brother 100 times a day, and you address everybody else normal, but I'm hey brother every time. First of all, I'm not your brother.
Hey brother, hey bro, homie.
Exactly. Like if you don't know how to address me, you can ask me very direct. Like.
Yes.
It's not that big of a deal. And a lot of things that people are curious about racially, because I've also found like you're not about to cure racism, not about to go away. I mean, when you got your subconscious dictating 90 to 95% of your actions every day, like if racism is ingrained in you, you're going to do racist shit without you even knowing it. So
that's a good point. Very good point.
I'm not going to be able to undo that. What I can do is we can have a conversation. If you're unsure about something that you don't know about, either because of how you was raised or it was ingrained in you, but you have actually no intention of being racist or coming across as racist or coming across as, being discriminatory, like there's a conversation to be had, and I'll let you know if something bothers me or not. And even if it don't bother me, I might let you know, look, I'm cool with it. I don't care at all, but this may bother some people, so be aware, But when one, either you too high and mighty, or you two just don't have the desire to learn and are not willing to have these type of conversations, like there's something wrong with that. And I understand it's an uncomfortable conversation, but it's primarily uncomfortable because you holding guilt, not because I'm holding guilt.
Facts.
I didn't perpetuate this, and yeah, you may think, all right, I feel some type of way, but I'd rather have a conversation than you end up like fucking McGregor, because if you
not like fucking McGregor.
I mean, for real, because if you do it to me and I'm cool and I'm like, you know what, if I was anybody else, I'd fuck you up right now, but I don't actually think Now granted, in McGregor's case, he knows, but let's just say you didn't and you did some shit like that, and I was Muslim and I decided to knock your damn head off like McGregor got his.
Yes.
Then I would hate for that to happen to you because you made a mistake, opposed to you purposely doing it. If you purposely doing it, then you got what you deserved. If it's a mistake of some sort because you weren't educated or you weren't willing to have the conversation, that's something different. And I think that's a very important point. Like, change happens in the most uncomfortable places. Like, for the U.S. to change, for people to change, like, everybody's gonna have to be uncomfortable a little bit. And we see it in society across the board. Like, yeah, it might be something on the news about a police shooting or something going on in the world that may cause people to feel a certain type of way. By seeing it, but not having a non-biased conversation about it, what you're actually doing is leaving it open to constantly repeating itself.
Yeah.
Because we're not about to change it. We can push the ball forward a little bit. And that's our job, is to push it as far as we can during our lifetime, and then have those behind us pick up the ball and keep pushing it until it gets to that point. That's really what this is. We're building on the people that came before us. The people after us should do the same thing. But if we just choose not to go anywhere, then we're screwed. But luckily and unluckily for us, we're in a time of change, because, I mean, we've had the Obama era followed by the Trump era. And I will say, arguably, in terms of U.S. history, when U.S. history is taught down the line, there probably won't be more decisive years than the ones that we are going through right now, because they stand in such stark contrast, and we're seeing so many leap forwards, and we've seen so many steps back, and we've seen such division, and in some cases such unification. And this time is going to be that time where people across the board are going to have to acknowledge, all right, either we're going to make a change or we're not. Either we're going to hold these people accountable or we're not. And if the answer is not, then you can give up on wanting to change. That's really when you just, if you're not willing to change it, shut the fuck up and deal with it. Because now you are part of the problem.
Yes.
And personally, I'll never be that, So I'm like, all right, if I'm not doing anything to change it, why am I voicing, how discontent I am with it? Because really what I'm saying is, all right, I'm mad about it, but I'm not willing to get up off my ass to do anything about it. And that'll never be me.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean,
but I feel like everybody has a line. Everybody has a line. And some, like, the self-righteous person could sit there and say, there's nothing you can say to me that's ever going to make me do X, Y, Z. But I don't always buy that. I think it's just, you don't know, like, when the stuff is said to you, it's not like you're thinking it through. It's just sometimes it hits you. I mean, let's take this out of the UFC and take it back to a well-publicized beef between Nicki and Cardi.
Yep.
And that's in rap, where it is words. It is people just talking shit forever. But there's a limit when people start talking about you as a parent, or you your family. I think that's always a sore spot for people, because for most people, and for all people, our family is central to our identity. And it's not always the case of we're close to your family or whatever, but where you come from. Like, when someone attacks your parents, they're attacking you. They're attacking people. They're attacking your ancestors. They're attacking the essence of you. And not everyone can take that, and just swallow it.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think that's one of those things that anybody should swallow. And I say that for the exact reason you just pointed out, because that's one of those things people attack when they know what they're attacking.
Yes.
Like, that's one of them things you bring up when you know you're trying to hit,
yes,
a certain spot with somebody. That's not one of them things where it's like, I don't know if this is going to offend them or not. No, you're bringing that up because you're purposely taking it to the next level. And if that's the case, well, you should just be had. I mean, that's really all there is to it. You took it there to take it to another level. You shouldn't be surprised when it once again goes to another level. And like you said, like with Nicki and Cardi, something said about the kid. Really, what can you say? And I said that during our last episode. Like you say something about my son that you may have said about me, and I was like, all right, whatever. You may have said it about my brother or what I'm saying, Rich or Trey or whoever, and I'll quickly correct you, but I might not beat your ass right then.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm thinking is, like especially I know me, like I'm gonna think, all right, what would Rich say about some shit like this? And honestly, 9 times out of 10, he gonna talk me down off the ledge, unless it's absolutely necessary. Now, if I gotta have you, I gotta have you. But honestly, like, if you say that same thing about my son, I ain't thinking it through. And I'm not calling Rich before. I'm not calling my brother, my mother, nobody before. Because, like, that's a kid. He ain't done nothing to you. Overall, I won't say he defenseless, because I am his dad, and I do got these things you don't want to see. But he's defenseless in the aspect of he can't defend himself personally against